Hello, hello. I'm on just a couple minutes early. This is the live Q&A for our 30-day butterfly challenge. So I'm going to give you all some time to come on in and hopefully my good friend Shelly will join us. So I'm waiting to see her request to join. And we're both going to host this thing. So it looks like she might be watching because I see I have two people watching. So hopefully one of them is Shelly. And hopefully we're going to get, here it is. Oh, no, that's Cheryl Howard. I don't want to bring Cheryl Howard on camera, do I, Cheryl? Actually, I would love to bring Cheryl Howard on camera. Hi, Jean. Hi, friends. You're all hopping on here. This is awesome. Hi, wee Aggie. How do you know that I'm wee Aggie? Do you remember my story? You must have watched one of the old videos. My grandmother called me wee Aggie. Yes. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Liz. A day without friends is a wasted day, and you all are my friends, and you're all here, and look, you're making my face hurt already. Hi, Lisa. Lisa and I were just chatting a few minutes ago, and she was scrambling to try and help me with the whole thing of figuring out how to bring people on camera. Hey, Anne. Well, I'm seeing everybody except Michelle. Hi, Mary. All right, we're going to get Michelle on here. It's going to work. Earlier when we did it, we had the phone portrait, and so we were stacked on top of each other, and she's like, let's just do it that way tonight. And I'm like, no, let's try and do it landscape mode. So she's probably trying to do that right now. You got to turn your camera the right way first. And I don't remember if she is iPhone or not. Ay. Shelly girl, where's my Shelly girl? Where are you? So anyway, I'm really excited about this. Are you guys excited about the 30-day butterfly challenge? It's going to be so much fun. So, see, I want to start talking about it, but Shelly girl, here she is. Yay. And then they make you send a request. We're adding her. I'm getting a weird notification up on top. Is it going to work? Liz says, yes, very excited. Come on, Shelly. It says adding. Hey, Brandy. Yay, there she is.
Man, that was hard.
I'm going to move over. It was hard.
Yes, that was hard.
Oh, I'm so glad you made it.
Yay,
Thank you so much for doing this with me. It just makes it so much nicer to not sit here talking to myself.
Yeah.
So anyway, let me introduce you. So if any of you guys are new here, welcome. We love having you here. We are all friends a lot. Hey, Dorothy. Dorothy's in the house. A lot of you are already in the Painter's Journey membership. Welcome. I ask you to share this with your friends. And by the way, I better introduce Shelly. This is Shelly, my partner in crime. So Shelly and I just really hit it off right from the start. She joined the membership back in December. And I think, I don't know.
Is that when it was? I can't remember either.
Doesn't matter.
Probably.
And and so she just helps out. She just has a natural ability, a natural thing to be, the ultimate host.
You're
ultimate
so sweet.
Hostess. You're so sweet, Shelly. She's the sweetest. I could cry. I could just cry. So, but anyway, thank you for being here, Shelly. Her hubby was off today, and she's taking time out from her day off with her husband. So I appreciate you being here. So anyway, all right. All your burning questions.
All
about
the
30
burning
days.
questions.
Yeah, we're going to answer them all. But so first, how should we start this, Shelley? Maybe just with why we're doing this, like why this came up in the first place, which I don't know. Do you even know? Can we talk about that?
Yeah, well, I think that I think it kind of started out with a lot of people talking about their struggles. And so this kind of grew from there. We just felt like it was something that could help the group a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think the number one thing, we're all pressed for time. Time is such a big issue for all of us. We all have busy lives. And let's face it, we're all women. I mean, if there are any guys here, you're welcome. But, you know, being a woman, it's very demanding. I mean, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. And we feel guilty and we feel like we're stealing time away. And it's just a struggle. It's just a big struggle bus. And what I have learned from I haven't done very many challenges, but what happens is you kind of convert from being a person that finds time, that does art only when you find time, to a person that makes time. And let's face it, that's the only way you're going to get stuff done. You have to actually make the time, right? Or it doesn't get done. And so it's basically changing from being a person who is inspiration based to being habit based, making it into a habit. And hopefully it'll be a daily habit. That's what this will be, a 30-day thing. And what we want you to get out of this is that you're going to discover that you do have 30 minutes. We're going to ask you to commit to 30 minutes a day for 30 days. And you're going to be surprised how you're going to find the time. Now, it's butterflies and it's whatever media that you want to do it in, whatever medium, I should say, watercolor, acrylic paint, Procreate, doodles, sketches, anything you want, anything at all you want. All that we ask is that you commit and do 30 minutes a day. And I'm not a taskmaster. Even if you can't do 30 minutes, if it's 10 minutes, if it's 15 minutes, that's okay. There are no butterfly police that are going to come after you and get you with a big old butterfly net. The point is, what you're going to get out of this is what you put into it. And if you set aside the time and a place, I mean, I'm going to get real specific with you, but if you have a place and if you put your supplies out and if you make it a ritual for yourself, you know, make it an indulgent ritual. I mean, I've seen some artists that light a candle and, you know, pour a little cup of tea or coffee or wine or whatever it is and make it your time. That's what I want for you. And Shelley wants that for you too, right, Shell?
I do, and I think it's wonderful when you can begin to view that time as a treat to yourself rather than always it being this job that we have to do or this deadline we have. You know, we all have those, of course, but if we can step back from it a little bit sometimes and just breathe and be in the moment and be loving it, then you know, that's why I think we all started it in the first place, was because we loved it. So it'd be fun to get back to that a little bit.
Right, exactly. And you know, butterflies symbolize freedom. I think they literally were named from the word flutter by. Has anyone heard that? I think I heard something like that a long time ago. So we want you to flutter on by and spend a little time on yourself, creating some art, but mostly we want you to build a habit for yourself. This is for you. This is so that you're free to fly, free to come flutter by, spend some time with your pencils, your watercolor pencils, your crayons, oil sticks, your paints, whatever it is. And we're going to make it as easy as possible for you. So one of the keys that I've learned from doing any kind of art, but especially with a challenge, is that you want to limit choices. You want to limit your choices so that you don't have to make too many decisions. Being an artist, when you're creating, you're making so many decisions. And it, you know, it can kind of wear on us after a while, making all these decisions, you know, what size substrate, what colors am I going to do? What am I even going to paint? So many decisions, right? So we've eliminated the decision about what size, because most of these templates that I'm giving you, and actually all of them, are 6 by 6 inches. So it's a nice small size, pretty manageable, right, Shelley?
I love the small ones. You know how I feel about those small pieces.
Yeah.
They're just so popular with all of my customers already. So,
and 6 by 6 is pretty manageable, and it's square. So that's another thing. You're not deciding on, is it going to be tall or wide? Decision made for you, and also the subject. Butterflies, right?
love it.
Don't you just love butterflies, Shelley?
Love it. Love, love, love it.
What's your favorite?
What's
your favorite butterfly?
I love the swallowtails. Is that what they're called?
With the long little,
yeah, I love the pretties.
Yeah, I love those too.
Should I share my little?
Yeah. Oh, please do. Ah, look at what Shelley did. How gorgeous is that? So that's a great segue, Shelley. We have at least, I don't know, at least 5 guest instructors coming in, one of them being Shelley. And I don't know that you're known as a guest instructor, but you are now. So our very own Lisa and several of our very own from the membership are going to be teaching. You need a monarch butterfly also. We do have a monarch in there, yes. So we've created a calendar, right? And there's, and it's probably backwards.
Oh, mine was backwards too.
What's that?
Mine was probably backwards too. I didn't even think about it, but
that's okay. So we've created a calendar with a suggested prompt, if you will. You do not have to do this. The whole thing about the freedom of a butterfly is that you do what you want to do. But we didn't want you to feel like, oh, I don't know what butterfly to do, and I don't have a reference, and I don't have an outline. And so I made it as easy as possible for you to just sit down, bam, start. We want you to have those 30 minutes of really quality time that you can just dive right in and not have to make any decisions, or not too many decisions. Let's put it that way. So I thought there is one. Yeah, the monarch is on the 22nd. So the other things that you're going to be getting with this, Shelley, you help me if I'm forgetting. I'm going to be writing a daily motivational thing, just a daily thing. Here's one called Day One, the Blank Canvas. So these are just kind of mindset things. And Shelley's going to be posting some actual mindset memes. So every day there's going to be something new for you to come flutter on by and check out what's happening in the group. We are not going to email you. We're not going to message you. We're not going to bother you. This is a self-paced study. You initiate it on your time when you're ready. That's something I believe in wholeheartedly, and something I'm going to be talking about in the group a lot. I'm going to ask you to actually reduce your information clutter that you get from outside that bombards you every day, to make space for this. Make this a holy space, if you will, to have the attention span for this, you know, for yourself. What else, Shelley? What else am I not thinking of that we're including in this?
Well, so you have some tracer files that are in there that people can use, and they can be used on any of the, you know, you don't have to necessarily only use that tracer on that day. You can use the tracer at any point through the challenge that you want. You might choose to make all of yours monarch butterflies for the whole 30 days. You might do just monarchs if that's what you love, or you might finish a piece in 2 or 3 days, as long as you're committing that 30 minutes. It doesn't, we're not here to say, did you complete your piece today? Your piece might take 3 of the 30 days to complete. Right. So whatever your goals are.
That's such a good point, because on social media, we're seeing things done so immediately. We're seeing these fast videos, and it seems like this artist just bangs one thing out after another. And believe me, that's not the case. It's really not the case. If it takes you 20 minutes or 30 minutes the first day, maybe just to set yourself up, that's fine. If you want to do a color study before you even start it, that's fine, as long as you've done your 30 minutes. And regarding posting, you don't have to post anything if you don't want to. If you want to share what you did that day, Great. That's great. That's wonderful. I mean, mostly what we're hoping is that this builds community and that it helps you build a habit. You know, that's what I think is going to serve you really the most. Yeah, the byproduct is you're probably going to have some pretty nice butterflies by the time we're done, right?
Absolutely.
So let's see.
Pat is so right. Pat is saying that she needs to turn off the phone. That's my big, I'm
Yeah,
almost nervous turning it off. You know, my family
yeah.
contacts me that way. My children, if they can't reach me when they
Well,
call, they
there's
panic.
certain
And
things, yeah, there's certain things that you can turn off the notifications for
yeah,
so that not everything is dinging on your phone. There's
yeah,
so many emails that I get that I just don't even look at, and it's like, oh, I just need to take the time to unsubscribe from all this stuff. I'm so bombarded. I don't need this stuff anymore. You know,
yeah,
at least for the next month, reduce your clutter, you know, your information clutter that's overloading your brain, and you're going to feel a sense of relief. You really are.
yeah.
Charlie's barking upstairs. So I am going to go live tomorrow. I'm going to talk about some suggested supplies, but of course you are free as a butterfly to use whatever supplies that you would like. And so there really is no supply list per se. I'm just going to suggest that you do smalls like 4x4, 5x5, 6x6, that you do them square. You can do them in watercolor, like I said, any medium at all. I'm probably going to do a lot of watercolor demonstrations. However, I just want to let you know, there's not necessarily going to be a guided lesson every single day. I just don't have time. However, most days there will be. So if there is a guided lesson, it'll be posted, and it might not be me, it might be a guest instructor. So you're going to want to come check in each day. And each new instructor, probably each lesson actually, is going to be put under the guides tab. So if you're not familiar with that in the groups, there are these tabs along the top of the page. And very often when you first go into a group on Facebook, you're in the discussion section. So you would need to click on that tab up above that says guides. So let's say Lisa Burke, she's a watercolorist. She's going to be doing a class. I wonder who our first instructor actually might be Bonnie. But anyway, so Lisa's doing the common blue on the 11th. Okay. And so when she does that, she's going to go live in the group. And I would say you do want to turn the notifications on. I don't know what time. There is no set time as to exactly what time of the day the classes are going to be. I guess we could do that, huh, Shelley? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how it works out for each of the individual instructors.
Yeah, I don't either. More than likely, they'll be done. Let's just say that they'll be posted by noon. Let's just say that.
Okay.
And then you can come check in. You can, if you want to be there live, you would need to have the notifications turned on, and then you can join the live and ask questions. If you miss the live, that's fine. It'll stay up there in the group for whenever you want to watch it, and then you would go look up in the guides to find the one that you're looking for. So what else? Anything else we should say before we open it up for questions, Shelley?
Also, don't forget to click the files tab up in that same area. There's a lot of files. And initially, when I first joined the group, it was, I don't know why, but I never clicked over there. So make sure you click that files tab.
And I've already posted inside of the group that what I'm sharing with you are all, they're called PDFs, which stands for Portable Document File. And it is a software by Adobe, and they give a free reader. So you don't have to pay for anything. You would just need to go to the App Store and open that up and install that on your device that you're going to be watching the classes from, so that you can open up all the PDFs. So because every day, that's what I'm going to be giving. I'm going to be giving PDFs. These tracers are all PDFs. These are all in there. I've got the first 14 days already in there uploaded for you. And there's a reference photo and a outline. And you can You can use these outlines. You can create artwork from this, and you can sell the artwork. You don't have to worry about, you know, copyright or anything like that, or permission. And what else? I think that's it. So why don't we open it up for questions now? Who has a question? Are there any questions?
I think maybe one of the biggest misconceptions with the 30-day challenge is maybe people expecting that there's something guided each day. And so I think that that's, you know, probably one of the biggest points to be sure that
yeah,
you know, that we get across that there's not always going to be some guided lesson. Part of this will be, you know, just you maybe finding your own inspiration for the prompts that you have, or
right. Because I mean, I actually think that that's a good thing, because
absolutely,
you do need to learn to initiate your own art making. There's going to be plenty of content in here for you to follow along with. If you're really a beginner artist and you need that guidance, we welcome you. We want to help you with that. But, you know, also at some point you need to kind of just go it alone and go try it out. You'll be surprised what you can get done. But yeah, I mean, probably most of the days. I guess I just don't want to commit to all of the days, because it's a lot. It's a lot. The other thing is, if you come, I mean, there will be content every single day. There will be posts for you to check out. A lot of this is motivational, inspirational, and that's going to lead to perspirational. You know, a lot of this is mindset stuff. Within the membership, we were talking about that one day, all the stuff that we go through as artists. It's just really, it's really hard. Let's be honest. It can be really, really hard. And a lot of it is mind stuff. So what I want you to notice as you're doing this, I want you to, you know, listen to yourself and keep track of what you're saying to yourself, especially the negative self-talk. You know, it's going to happen. And we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna change the way we talk to ourselves. Hopefully, we're going to first become aware of how do we even treat ourselves. How are we talking to ourselves? What is that? How's that affecting me? You know, what do others in my family think when they hear me talk like that? You know, all these things. I'm asking you to open yourself up to question these things if you want to have a change occur. And I'm hoping for that for you. I mean, I think this is going to be a really phenomenal class. You know, I think it's a tremendous value already. I mean, already it is. It's $15. If you want to let other people know about it, that would be truly awesome. You can start the challenge anytime. You don't have to start it on Sunday, May 1st. We are starting on Sunday, May 1st. However, I am going to repackage this and resell this forever. I'm going to leave it up there on my website and sell it for whenever a person comes along, flutters by, and wants to start an art challenge. They can do it anytime they want, you know? So, you know, and someone suggested to me today that I put you know, I didn't want to put the date with the name, you know, because it may not necessarily be, you might come in next December 5th and start this challenge, you know what I mean? So I didn't want to confine it to that, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, there's not going to be necessarily a lesson every day, but most of the lessons I'm probably going to do in watercolor because it's nice and fast. I would suggest to you that you look for a medium that you're comfortable with, but that is fast. You know, mostly what we want you to do is get in the habit of sitting down someplace, making a space for yourself, having your stuff out. Don't hide it away. You want it visible, and you want to claim that space, and you want to go to that space every day. Hopefully at the same time. I'm going to recommend you do it at the same time. Think of it like working out. When you're training for a marathon, you know, you usually go meet your trainer at the same time. You know, you usually do a certain number of laps and all that. And that's another good point. When you sit down for your 30 minutes and let's say it's going really great, ask yourself, are you going to let yourself do more than 30 minutes? If you've got a busy day, I would say, this is going to sound counterintuitive. Don't do more than 30 minutes. Do the 30 minutes and leave it, especially if you're at a point where you can't wait to put this on and that on. Don't do it. Do it the next day. It's going to bring you back the next day. It's more important that you come back the next day and do the 30 minutes consistently every day, same time, 30 minutes. Does that make sense?
I think it really does. And I think that what can happen when we start a challenge or a workout plan is that you're gung-ho the first day and the second day and the third day, and by the fifth day you're just exhausted.
Exactly.
So take care of yourself, protect your joy, and do what you can, but don't burn yourself out the first 2 or 3 days.
Exactly.
Killing yourself to get this done.
I want you to pace yourself. If you were training for a marathon, like I remember we had swimming 4 years. I went to Chicago Public High School. We had swimming all 4 years. I hated it. It wasn't all year round, but we had to do laps, and it was that little bit every day, doing those laps every day. Because the first day they test you. The first day they see how far and how fast you can swim. And everybody is bad. Everybody's really bad at it, right? But by the end of the quarter, it's unbelievable how much you can swim, right? I don't know if you've gone through that. Same thing with running or anything, any endurance thing. So this is kind of like an endurance thing. You may not be able to sit down for 30 minutes and focus, but by the end of this, you will be, and you'll look forward to that time, So use the time wisely, make it so that you've got no distractions, and make it so that it is your ritual. I mean, if you're a morning person, make it your morning ritual, do it first thing. If you're a night person, do it, have a certain time set aside where you do it. So, we are, and I had somebody ask me if we're going to do any glass and resin. Yes, we are. I don't know how much of that we're going to do. Most of this is going to be quick stuff. So some of it, if I do a glass and resin piece, I mean, I will. It's not going to be all in one session. It's probably going to be a lesson where I'm painting a design, maybe. I don't even know yet, but I'm starting with a base layer, or putting something down the first day, and then I'm planning my colors and my glass. That'll be maybe the next day. And maybe the third day, I'll actually layer the glass, and the fourth day I would do the resin. I don't know, something like that. It would probably be a 2 or 3 day thing. Because my videos, I'm gonna try and keep them really short. I don't wanna take up too much of your time with my videos. I want you to get in and do the art, So ideally, I'm not going to take too long on those. The guest instructors can take as much time as they like. I'm hoping that they can do it all in one session, whatever their lesson is. All right, let's see if there's any questions at all.
Yeah, Mary's asking if we'll be doing any acrylic.
Yeah, we'll be doing acrylic.
Yes, the answer, my lesson is definitely using acrylic. Of course, you can modify it after the lesson, but many people in the group were asking me to show how I did the roses on one of my pieces. And so what I'm going to do is something that would be, would need to be in acrylics, but you could take it after that. And of course, take the template that I'm going to give you, the tracer, and you could adjust it and do it as a watercolor if that's what you want to do. But the technique that I'm showing will be acrylic.
Great question. Great question. Who else has any questions? I thought I'd show you really quick. I did these super quick. I just want you to know you can do this stuff pretty quickly. So here is, I took the aqua blue tracer, and I just took some watercolor paper and created this in, I don't know, about 15 minutes, really, 15, 20 minutes, because I wasn't teaching. I wasn't explaining anything. And I'm going to show you a technique for doing these without having to trace the lines down. It involves using a light box. Here's another one. So I did a separate version. And I got a few little tricks that I'm going to show you with this. as well.
So
So
pretty.
probably most of them are going to be quick things like this. Yours doesn't have to be a finished piece, by the way. It just doesn't, you know, it could be just sketches, continuous line sketches. You could do the same thing every day if you want to. So here's another one, a California dog face, which I had never even heard of before. And then here I did this one and I found a gold pen.
That's so pretty too.
This is called, what is this called? A Fisker's Gold Rolling Ball Pen.
Wow.
And that's what I used on there. And you know me with the dots, I love dotty things. So this was watercolor. And all I did, honestly, was put it down on this. Whoa. I put it over this, maybe I'll show this. This light box right here. I just put my tracer down. And put the paper, I taped the paper on with, what's this stuff called again?
Washi tape?
Washi tape, and painted it. So kind of what you have to do though is you have to pull it off and look at it in the regular light. But the nice thing about that is you don't even have to trace it down. And I got this at Hobby Lobby for, I want to say $30. I mean, I know that's a little bit of another price tag. But
it sometimes can be done on a window too. You could
be done on it. Yeah, exactly. Of course, the watercolor is going to drip, but you could even use gouache or your acrylic paint thicker if you wanted to. You know, nice thing about it is you don't have to trace. So, you know, but whatever you have, whatever you can use, whatever you have, honestly.
Marcia, this is going to be so cool. You should participate. Definitely. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Robin's asking if there's a list of supplies. No, there's not a list of supplies because I don't know what you're going to use. It's kind of a start where you're at, use what you have kind of a thing. It really is. You can probably adapt what you've got. However, you know, at any time, if you've got questions about any of the supplies that I'm using, you can always ask during the live or after the live, and I will answer your questions. I don't know. I just didn't think it made sense to make lists, you know, and that can be time consuming too. I've been looking around for brush tipped pens. Yeah, there you go. And you know, I'm not into selling products or recommending product. I mean, I'm fine with recommending products, but I don't like the whole thing about making money off people buying products. What is that called again? I don't do that.
Yeah, what is that?
You know what I mean, right? Yeah, I forget what that's called.
The affiliate links.
Yeah, I'm not an affiliate for anything, you know, because that keeps me honest, you know. So, and I do have another, I don't know how I can do this. I have another butterfly that this was a pretty quick thing, believe it or not. Maybe I'll take you out of the mount and show you. I'm afraid to turn the camera around. Is that going to matter? Since I've got, oh, I can. Okay. So here's a butterfly that I did, and I'm going to resin this.
That's so pretty.
And those of you in the membership, that probably looks a little bit familiar. But this is definitely one that I can do and show you if you are totally new to this sort of thing. This will be one of the lessons. It's not necessarily, like I say, this is not necessarily one of the butterflies that you see on my calendar, you know, it's just a abstract butterfly, you know, so.
That's pretty.
All right. Any other questions, you guys? You know, you don't have to necessarily do the butterfly like this with the wings straight. And by the way, I told Shelly the other day, when you see the butterfly, when you see a butterfly with the wings, oh, I don't really have one here. When you see a butterfly with the wings all spread out, that means it's a dead butterfly and they spread the wings in the lab. It's so sad. Usually butterflies look like this. Oh, let me get one. Usually butterflies look like this with their wings down.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Laura. So Amazon has light boards for $16.99. Oh, thanks, Laura. That's awesome. That's great to know. The other thing I did on this, see the little drop shadow? I used a marker for that. I used a gray marker with a brush tip. One of these. A Copic, Copic? How do you say it? Copic or Copic?
Copic. I say Copic.
I used a Copic marker. How easy is that?
I
So
have a bunch
you
of
might even
those.
have markers, you know?
I have a bunch of those.
Yeah.
Pat, I think those clear teardrops are at Hobby Lobby. Is that right, Aggie? You get
Yes.
them in the...
Yes, those are at Hobby Lobby. Yes. And I always look for when they're on sale at Hobby Lobby, and I always buy them because you can do so much with those. We use those for the angels too.
So cute.
So any other questions? How long have we been on?
I think 35 minutes.
Oh, well, that's perfect.
I think we're right in there.
Joanne, a light board is one of the, it's sometimes called a light box. This is a light box. And I actually love having it. I really do. So the nice thing about it is that you can, you know, put your tracer down on that, put your watercolor paper on top of it, and you don't even have to trace your design on. You could though. You could trace the design on. Checking to see if there's any other questions. I don't think there is.
Michelle is absolutely right. Michelle is posting for everybody to think outside the box. That's really kind of the main goal at the end of this, is that everybody kind of uses their artistic creative juices and really gets going. And when you focus down on just doing butterflies, it does kind of take even more of that decision away. You kind of get going in that direction, and it'll be so fun to see what everyone creates. I can't wait to see all the pretty pieces and see what everyone comes up with.
Especially if there's some sort of technique that you've been thinking about and you're like, well, yeah, someday I got to do that. Keep a list, by the way. Keep a running list, keep it on your wall or keep it on your phone, keep it somewhere where you'll continually add to it. But anyway, hopefully you've got a list like that. Let's say you've been wanting to do something with palette knives, or you've been wanting to do, I don't know.
Michelle says she's going to be using clay.
Clay, yeah, whatever it is.
Can't wait.
Or scratch board, or who knows, you know, maybe glass on glass, or whatever it is. Now you've got 30 days. You've got 30 days of this. And I figured it out. If you do 30 minutes every day, it equals 15 hours, I believe. I'm not a mathematician. I might be wrong, but I think it's 15 hours. It's just 15 hours out of an entire month. Surely you've got that, right? Surely you can do that. Don't call me Shirley. So anyway, I guess that's it, you guys. That's such a good point you made, Shelley. It's a chance for you to really dive in and explore another medium, explore. Maybe you want to know more about color. Maybe you'll really sit down and do some color mixing and see how these certain colors look together. Maybe you want to figure out what a achromatic color scheme is and use that. Or something else. Maybe there's something else you've had on back burner for so long. Now you're making a commitment to yourself and you're going to have a chance to do that. Write those goals out. Shelley had a great idea. Shelley made up a worksheet, and that's included in the group. So when you first sign up, I send you an email within 24 hours confirming your purchase and letting you know that you need to join the 30-day butterfly challenge Facebook group, and I give you the link to it. So what you do is you join the group, and as soon as you go in there, you'll see the content in there. There is a worksheet for you to fill out. Usually these items are under the featured tab. As we mentioned earlier, there are tabs at the top of the page. You're going to want to go investigate all of them. Click on every one of them and see what they all do and see what's in there. And so when you're checking out the featured tab, I believe that's where I have your worksheet. Click
also
on that.
in the files, I think.
Or look in files. The files tab will do the same thing, just two different ways to do it. Mm-hmm. Print it out and fill it out. You know, plan what it is. It's basically to help you figure out what you want to accomplish over the next 30 days. What do you want to get out of this? Okay. And I think that's it. I think we're right. Are we right around 45 minutes? I so appreciate you being here.
We're getting close. Oh.
What's that?
I said we're getting close to 45 minutes. I think we're right at 40.
Yay!
Yay! Jean
Um,
says she's had butterfly on the brain for a week.
yeah, I know,
I think a
right?
lot of us are like that. We just keep
Yeah,
thinking about the butterflies. Pat wants to try watering down the acrylic to resemble watercolor. That will be so
it's a
pretty.
great idea. I am going to do a video on the anatomy of a butterfly just to get that out of the way. I'll do a quick little video on that. I'm going to do a quick live tomorrow, maybe with Dale. I know Dale's coming over one of these days, or maybe I'll just do it by myself just to talk about some supplies that I'm going to be using. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to use them, but just maybe it'll spark some ideas. But I do highly recommend that you at least set aside a place. If you don't have a place where you create, you need to find a space for yourself. Could be a little desk. It could be a corner of the living room, wherever you've got some space and where you collect some art supplies. Figure out how you're going to be looking at your device. Are you going to use your phone, your iPad, whatever? Get that all set up so that you have that place to go to. Any recommendations that you have, Shelley?
Um, so I have this puppy, right?
Shelley's
And
training a little puppy and he's so cute.
and it's so hard to get. My studio is downstairs, and so I've got totes, and I've been taking everything upstairs to the
Oh,
kitchen because I can watch him. And so my live may be in my kitchen. We'll have to see what
I
happens by the
love
time
doing
that
that.
my class comes. Huh?
Yeah, I love doing that. For me, the nice thing about doing a live from the kitchen is the natural light instead of this
Yes.
fluorescent light that I have right above me that casts weird shadows.
Or no light. My studio is awful with light. So yeah, I think everybody has to make do. We all
Exactly.
move things around, and so I've had to be a little bit more creative with my space the last month or so, and we can make anything work.
Yeah, that's a great idea using the totes.
Yeah,
That is
love
such
that.
a great idea. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for being here. And I
Thanks,
don't know if I
everyone.
mentioned where you can purchase the class. It's at agnesfriedlander.com. That's my website. If you go there and scroll down just a tad, you'll see it's one of the top, it's near the top of the page, 30-day butterfly challenge. It's only $15. We would love to have you join us. The big thing is community. We have open arms for you, and we want to support you as an artist. For me personally, it took me a long time to be able to have the space that I have, literally, in every area of my life. I'm an empty nester. My mom and dad passed away. My husband and I built this house with a big studio for myself. And I've waited my entire life to be able to do this. And I feel so blessed. I know we don't all have that. And I want to help you as best I can wherever you're at so that you can get back into creating your art. And I really do think that a 30-day challenge like this will definitely help get you on your way. We want to build a habit and not rely on inspiration only, because sometimes inspiration comes knocking at the door, and then you've got to take the kids to soccer practice, and then you got to train the puppy, and then you got to take mom to get a blood draw, and then guess what happens? Inspiration says, bye, you don't need me anymore. Right? Inspiration
Yeah,
goes away. Inspiration is fickle,
and
but a habit is different. If you have a
yes,
habit, if you have a schedule, if you have a plan, it works.
and
All
Pat
right,
is
you
saying that
guys.
it's a great group of ladies, and she's so right. I've spent my whole life of art really being by myself and kind of secluded. I just didn't have people around me that I could really lean on when I needed to, and
Yeah,
we all do need to lean on someone. So
we really do.
Pat
I
is
think
absolutely right.
I wish that there was a community like this when I was dedicating myself to my
Yes.
art practice. I was so alone and I struggled so much, and I lost a lot of motivation. A lot of days it was easier to just sit around and not do anything. But
Yeah.
when you're with a group of other people, we just propel each other forward. We really do. So this community is vital to that. I think you're going to really enjoy it. You're going to discover that maybe that is what has been missing for you, and you could be thriving so much more just being in the company of other women that are like you, that want the same things that you want, that will help you.
Priceless. That's
So,
priceless.
all right, you guys, that's it. I'm getting down off
Okay.
my soapbox.
I'm
Thank you
gonna,
so much, Shelley. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And like I say, I'm going to go live again and talk about art supplies. That's going to be actually in the group. That's going to actually be inside of the 30-day butterfly challenge group on Saturday at some point tomorrow. Doesn't feel like Friday today. But don't worry, anything that you might miss will always be there for you to watch whenever you're ready. All right.
Yep.
Thanks again.
Bye, guys.
Bye.